Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And we're just hanging out in a bathrobe and gonna mess around with the UI for Darker Matter that is launching soon. The beta's open now. You can check out the beta. I'll put the beta site here in the there we go. That's in the comments right there. That's the beta site right now. You can connect your wallet to that. And there's a faucet for free tokens up in the main page. We'll be going over all that. And we're going to be using Claude, Claude Code to walk through and tweak and change and set up a lot of the um, operations here on the front end. So we are streaming on YouTube. I don't have any music going. So this will be probably a pretty good tutorial of where we're at right now with the Darker project and some of the game theory that we're trying to put together. Um, yeah. Let's jump into it. I'm gonna share my screen here. And then if I get really angry and abusive with Claude Code, I'll just mute the mic. But either way, we've got Darker Matter here. This is the website, the new UI. And let me go over some of the things on the home screen here. We have the home button, so anytime that you want to just go back to this screen, you can click the home button. It's kind of funny that the home button is on the home screen. But either way, we're going to connect our wallet. We're going to connect Rabby. MetaMask works best with Pulse Chain still, just because it has so much stuff built around it with Ethereum. And then Rabby is a close second. And even though Rabby broke our hearts, I still prefer it to the Fox. So we're connected here at the connection. Underneath there, there's degens only. This site is under construction and it has all sorts of stuff like just information, more information than you could want. You got the FOMO curves, you got some projections of different game theory that you can do. And yeah, there's a lot that's going to go on here. This is going to get organized, but this is where the degens and the nerds go. If you want to get deep into the lore and just the game theory and the white paper, that kind of stuff, the scientific stuff, then you'll jump in here. Underneath there, it'll read your darker balance. So you'll know what your darker balance is as well on the header. You got, of course, the name, Darker Matter, and the contract address, which you can just copy right here. This is, of course, is not the actual address of the token when we go live after airdrop, but this is the one that you can copy and put in your wallet right now. The other thing that I like about our Connect wallet button up here is that it will show you the logo of the Rabby. It'll show you the logo of the wallet you're connected to. As you can see, we have Rabby connected to this one, and then it has a lot of the truncated. So instead of the last four of the address, it actually has the first six and the last six right there. And then you have add darker right there button. So you can just add the token to your wallet. So we'll add right here. That one's already been added to this one, and you can see it's worth nothing right now. And then of course you have the buy now button, which right now takes you to switch.win. It will most likely take you to Squirrel Swap in the future because Red Squirrel's been just making some beautiful stuff, including some portfolio tools and things like that, so you guys can see what's going on inside of your wallets and get a better view of what's going on Pulse Chain. So that's what that does right now. And then it'll show the price right now. The price of the liquidity in the test token is 29 cents. There's like $10 of liquidity in there. The bots took $10 immediately. And I don't know if they actually paid the sales tax because I don't know if we had it set up right yet, but that was to set up so that we could start taxing the bots and seeing the EDI flow into that pool that you guys can earn. Also, you'll see there's 22 round circles here. We're just wrapping up round 22 of this simulation, and then it'll loop over and start again at 1. And so the great thing about darker matter, is that you can always mint. One of the problems we had with dark matter, the original AG, was that we had an 11-day window inside of a 45-day window. So if you didn't show up on those 11 days and showed up during the other 34 days, you wouldn't be able to mint. And so people were confused and some of them didn't come back. But now you can always mint for the next round. So we have 22 rounds here, and all 22 rounds, right now they run at an hour each for beta. So you guys can sit here for a couple hours and mint some NFTs and then do a couple of different strategies with them that we'll go into. And that happens, like I said, every hour. So this is like, this whole loop is happening every 22 hours. But when we go live, each round is going to be 11 days. So you'll have 11 days, you'll have 22 rounds, and that will be considered the first season. And there are actually 3 seasons planned. So let's go here back to the front page. And then you have the countdown right here. This is going to be the countdown for the next round. As you can see, we've got 35 minutes left in round 22. And then you just have 3 tiles to choose from. You've got the mint page, jackpot, and the fuel cell farms. And the mint is obviously where you go to mint your NFTs. The jackpot is where you go to see if you've won the lottery. And the fuel cell farms is where you get to have fun. That's where the real game theory meets the road, or whatever. So then also you've got the void right here. And it has your ghost weight. It has your burn. So 21 NFTs were burned in these 22 rounds. And 29 EDI were distributed to, I believe that's how many were distributed. I'll ask Claude right now about that. On the home page with the void, it says 0 ghost weight. I'm guessing that's my ghost weight if I've connected my wallet. Then it says 21 have been burned in this season of 22 rounds. And then it says 29 distributed. Does that mean that there's 29 distributed EDI to the void in this round? Or sorry, in this season? So we'll ask it what's going on. Because, yeah, I don't quite understand this. And so we should probably fix it on the main page and make sure it's easier to read. Like I said, we want Sticky iPad 3-year-olds to be able to choose one of these 3 buttons on most of the pages and make them as easy to use as possible. So it's thinking about my good question. Let me check those stats actually pull from the contracts. And here's a picture of Claude Code worrying, wrangling, forging. Sticky beaking. I don't even know what the hell sticky beaking is. Meandering. So yeah, it's thinking, using its noggin, and we'll come back to that. So let's drop into mint fuel cells. So let's say you've connected your wallet, you've bought some dark matter, or you've been airdropped some darker matter from participating in the first version of this game, and you want to go to mint some. So you go to mint fuel cells right here. Now it's weird. It's letting me. Let's see if it lets me mint. Lets me mint 100, and it's going to mint them for round 1 since this is on a loop. So let's go ahead and mint 100 fuel cells. Go here and we'll sign, confirm, and create that transaction. And then when it switches over to round 1, we should be getting 100 fuel cells to play with. But I'm not sure because I haven't done this on the loop yet. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. Again, it's got your dark balance down here, a plus and minus, so you can add or subtract. You can also click in here and enter the amount you want. The max is 100 for now. We might bump that up to like 1,000 depending on gas costs when we go live. So here's your amount to mint, plus, minus, and then it'll say you get 100 in round 1. Very nice, neat. And then you have a jackpot button and a fuel cells button on this page as well, so you don't have to go back to home to go to either of those. The next one we're going to go to is the jackpot button. The jackpot button has a lot of cool information in it right now. And actually, let me see. Here we go. Let me answer this really quick. Okay, now I have the pull picture. Here's what those 3 stats mean. 0 ghost weight. That's the total ghost weight across all players, not yours. It's from total ghost weight on the incinerator vault. Ghost weight is the phantom weight that stays behind when someone incinerates their fuel cell. It keeps earning yield, but nobody can claim it, so it effectively boosts payouts for all remaining survivors. It's 0 because nobody's incinerated yet on this deployment. I'm guessing it's saying on the new deployment because we're wrapping up the 22nd one. There's 21 burned, so that's total ghost count. The total number of fuel cells that have been incinerated across all rounds this season were 21 NFTs. 29 redistributed, that's total incinerated weight. Confusing name, total weight in the hook. The total active weight in the incinerator vault. This is the combined dark matter weight of all surviving fuel cells that are staked in the incinerator, not EDI amount. It's weight units that determine your share of EDI yields. Okay, great. So so the labels are a bit misleading. Ghost weight is clear, burned is clear, redistributed is actually total amounts. Okay, great. So, let's change ghost weight to total participants, and burned needs to be changed to incinerated, and then redistributed should be total dark inside the void. And then we also want to add a stat, which is total amount of EDI paid out to those participants. So it should just be EDI paid out. We'll add that one. And then underneath, let's do a really cool text. I'll probably find one and add it here as an image. But in the meantime, just do a really smooth, cool looking text that says void underneath those stats. Thanks. All right. So it's going to be working, discombobulating, scheming, clotting, and figuring that out. And this is how it goes. I mean, you just sit here and you tell it something, you wait to see what it looks like, and then, you tweak it. Okay, that's that's not centered. It needs to be a little bit bigger. Let's move it over here. Let's balance it out with that. Let's change the color. Let's change the image, things like that. And then there's this sacrifice to the void that we were just talking about. Let's actually see if we can find an image here. Void text. Let's do it all caps. Void. Space themed text graphic, copyright free. And then we'll look at the images right here. Oh, that's a cool looking void right there. Futuristic neon purple. That one just said space. And then here's some pictures of voids, but nothing like that one right there, which looks pretty dang cool. let's click on this one and then see if we can find some more. Oh, look at that. Look at all these voids right here. A lot of these say they're licensable. They're on Pinterest, they're on videos. I like the void with the zero missing, or the ring of the O missing. That one's pretty sweet. These other ones with the V takes away from the branding. This one's kind of clean right there. And then this one, the void. That one's really good. No copyright motion graphics. No, I just want void logos. Yeah, well, it's not really a logo though, is it? Let's see here. Text effects. So yeah, you can use this one. Just it really got stuck on the space themed. So let's put some quotations around void so it knows what we're up to. Images, pixel art. This is still the text effect of void. These are some cool pictures, but we already have the picture of the void back there, so. Pixel art, void wallpaper, void PNG, void. Maybe we'll call it a graphics. It's still stuck on the word space. So it likes space more than it likes void. Infinite backgrounds. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. We'll just tweak it. We'll just find a really cool font for it to use. Okay, now it's adding the die and vault to return. So it's crunching this right here. If you go to this is my local host, so I get to see it faster and sometimes more a little bit quicker than it gets pushed to Vercel and you guys. But the other one is right here. This is drkr vercel.app. And let's go back here to the main page and see what it looks like right now. And then we can also see if it's the deployment's being pushed. It says it's ready right there. So yeah. Oh no, it's still working on it. So that was the last deployment, minute and 21 seconds ago, when we changed the relock button on the locked fuel cells. Sorry, that was an hour ago. It was an hour ago that we did that. So we'll wait for this to build and stuff. Going back to the website though, as I get distracted, we're going back to the jackpot page. So the jackpot shows the total jackpot that's available. Here's the prize pool. And it's paid at the round end. Paid at round end. Yeah, once Claude gets done with that other thing, we'll say paid at end of round across the bottom there, and maybe make it a little easier to see. But this is the dark in the jackpot. In the original AG, you had a 1 in 20 chance, 1 in 20.5, I believe, actually, to be more specific. In this one, you have a 1 in 740 chance. So your chances of winning are not nearly as good. I think there's 142. So it's 142 times harder to hit this jackpot. But if you hit this jackpot, instead of getting 1 or 7 or 12, or I think the highest jackpot we paid out was like 28 dark, 28 or something crazy like that. This one pays 333 dark. So if you hit the jackpot, your chances are low. I mean, they're obviously a lot better than hitting the actual Mega Millions jackpot or Powerball. But you get 333 dark. And so as you can see, it'll show our entries. We'll have 100 entries once this clock counts down and we start round 1 again. And then here's your bonus jackpots. We'll talk about that in just a second. So as you can see, my wallet's connected. It says no unclaimed wins found. I don't have any winnings to claim. But if I did, they'd be right here. And then the sacrifice to the void button. Sacrifice your winnings to the void and receive 338x weight in the eDie pool forever. This bonus will be attached to the next jackpot. So if you win those 333 darker and you incinerate them to the void, you get credit for the 333 darker that you sent into the void. But those 333 dark actually are going to be sent back to the jackpot and attached to someone else's jackpot. So that means at this point, there will be a whole bunch of 333, winners out there. And then one of those is going to be 666, which it's not really flattering, but I think you'd be happy to get 666 darker. And then if someone were to win that and sacrifice that to the void, the same thing would happen. They would get credit for 666 darker weight in the void and the void e-die pool. And then those 666 would go be attached to another jackpot, which now one of those jackpots swirling around would be 999. And it goes all the way up to, what is that? I think it can be done 4 times, which I would not be surprised at all if it happens 4 times in this game. So we're going to times that by 4. Yeah, sorry, 1332. So I think it's capped at 1332. So there may be in the future some jackpots of 1,332 darker that are spinning around in here that you can catch and win. So that's some fun game theory. It gives you an opportunity to make the game more exciting and at the same time keep those darker off the market, which helps the price. So that's a jackpot. And then now we're going to go into fuel cell farms, which let's see if it finished the void real quick. Having a G's. All right, still white, runtime error. Let me check the browser. Yeah, so it's still trying to get those voids, that void information updated. So we'll go on to fuel cell farms. The fuel cell farms, these are the NFT farms. In the original AG, you could win the lottery, which is cool because that's liquid darker, or if you win it, it's liquid darker. So you can use that to mint, you can use that to sell, you can take profit, you can or you can, like I said, you can send it to the void, and that would be cool. Now you can't send straight darker to the void. You actually have to lock it up in an NFT first, and then you can sacrifice that NFT to the void, and that NFT will earn you the amount of weight that it has in darker. So if you have an NFT that's worth 10 darker and you send it into the void, you get a weight bonus of 10. But like I said, you've got to do that first. So you got lock and void. You got my bags where you can see what's going on with all of your NFTs, and then you can get paid. That one's fun too. So let's go to lock void real quick, and then you have lock, incinerate, and deplete. Lock means just what it means. It's like staking your hex. You lock it for a certain amount of days, and then it gets unlocked automatically. You don't have to come back and click anything to unlock it. But you do have to come back if you want to relock it. So if you want to compound this bonus for locking it over and over again, you'll want to be in here looking to see as things are getting unlocked. In fact, let me see here. What do you think? You want to tweak anything? Styling, next item. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back here to the home and look at this void. There it is. I don't see the text void anywhere on the screen. But you got ghost, weight, burned, redistributed. Oh, you know why? Because I don't think it's been pushed to production. So we're going to have to check it out here on the local. There it is, void. Okay, so 0 total participants, 21 incinerated, total dark, and e-die paid out. Awesome, 2 e-die were paid out. The void is actually hard to see, which is kind of cool because it's the void. Let's change the text on void to something futuristic and sleek. Do you have a font for VOID that's futuristic and sleek? Schlepping, cooking. That's what we're doing tonight. We're cooking. Let me check what fonts are already loaded in the project. Okay. That makes sense. Puttering, actioning, envisioning. So as it's thinking, let's go back to the page here. I thought it might be a little bit faster, but it's taking a second. So we'll go back here, back to Fuel Cell Farms. There we go. So here's the Fuel Cell Farms. And oh, I accidentally clicked on my bags. So yeah, you have my bags, get paid, and lock and void. So you go to lock and void, lock, and then you have a 33-day lock and a 180-day lock. And then you have emergency unlock, which has a 50% penalty. So those 50% go back into the treasury to pay people who were patient and worked their lockout or waited their lockout. When this is done, I'm going to ask it a question about the automatic unlocking because we don't want people to have to come back here and unlock, although there are a couple of buttons on here that if you don't claim them every 6 months, then they revert back to the pool. So we'll go over those too. So unclaimed lotteries, if you don't claim your lottery within 6 months, then it goes back into the pool. And let's see, when it goes back to the pool, it should actually connect with the other ones to make a bigger bonus, a bigger jackpot. This one's still thinking about the text of void. Yeah, so you do 33 days, 180 days, and if you unlock before those days are up, then you pay a 50% penalty to the treasury. Here you got 33-day lock. I understand the locking terms, which is basically the penalty. And then you have, see, here's 100 fuel cells that we have right here that we've minted just barely are showing up in the next round one. So this also has icons right here, which I'd like to change a little bit. And it has well, it's supposed to have a small clock, a big clock, fire emoji or fire icon, and then a depleted battery icon, which it just kind of did a square there. So we'll make those a little bit simpler and cooler. But out of these 100, you can see how many of those 100 have been incinerated, how many have been depleted, and how many have been locked. Oh, going back here, let's go back to, oh look, this is what it looks like when it's rethinking everything. Void. Very cool. Very cool. I like that, void. We're gonna have to tweak this a little bit. There we go. Let me commit push. Cool. Let's flatten. Let's flatten the text by 50%, making it 50% shorter. And let's tuck it right up underneath those stats so people know that those stats are referring to the void. There we go. So it's pushing and committing this to you guys on the darker page right here. So once it commits, it'll show up here. And update right here. Let me go back here. Okay, so we went to Fuel Cell Farms, and under Fuel Cell Farms, you can there we go. You can lock Oh, goodness. There we go. Void. I like that. Let's tuck it up tighter. Oh, it's still working on it. All right, so get lost in the weeds here. I like that a little bit better there. So again, we go to the fuel cell farms. You've got your NFTs, and you can want to lock or you want to send them to the void. You can lock them. You can incinerate them to get EDI rewards forever, or you can deplete them, which in the old anti-gravity universe used to be called vaporizing. But because we have incinerate on this new version, incinerate, vaporize are very similar. So we wanted to deplete it because you're basically depleting that power source, that economic power source, by burning that NFT to get the darker tokens out of the inside and get those back into your wallet. So once your fuel cell has accumulated enough darker for you and you want to cash out, that's how you do it. You hit the deplete button and then you deplete those. We got 10 minutes left here before this whole thing starts over again. So let's go back into lock. Like I said, you have 30 day, 180 day, and then you've got the incinerate. So you can incinerate right here as well. So we could incinerate those 100 NFTs, or actually, I wonder if you can, let's see, done, void is half height, snugged right up under the stats. Let's take a look at it. Yep, let's tuck it up a little bit more. Let's tuck it up a lot closer with almost zero padding between the letters and the stats. Okay. Yeah, and while it's working on that, we'll go back here to, so we got lock and void. You got my bags, which like I said, is very similar to what we have before. You have the 100 here. So you basically can see what's going on with your bags if you just want to see how much dark they've accumulated and so forth. Now, some of them that, oh, that looks way better. See how tight it is up on the underneath there? That is cool. Okay, so it's still tweaking it. Yeah. So like I said, if you lock your fuel cells for 33 days, you get a 10x bonus. If you lock them for 180 days, you get a 100x bonus from the treasury. So those are the two options there. And then of course, incinerate that's the ultimate one. Up here, right underneath fuel cell farms, you have the 7 leagues, the C leagues that we had in AG project. We're carrying them on over to, well, this is still AG project, but the original. So the original has, we have a sus shell, cosmic crab, stellar squid, dark dolphin, sonic shark, warp speed whale, and pulsar Poseidon. And just by minting those 100, we're already up at pulsar Poseidon because there's no one competing against us right now. But as you compete, then it's going to be a percentage of how much you hold, just like T-shares in Hex. So those are those 3 buttons there. And then get paid. Get paid. You got the claim EDI. So if we had sent some fuel cells to the void and we had some EDI to claim, we could claim it here. If you don't claim your EDI at least every 6 months, then it does go back into the pool. So that's keep people from, people that have lost their wallets, died, gone to prison, whatever, dead addresses. It lets that go back in. And then treasury, view treasury, full treasury. I thought I moved this over to degens only. I think I have. No, it's showing you the treasury. So this kind of shows you just the basic payouts that you would receive over the first season right here, the first till round 22. So if you had minted in the first round and just held and done nothing, you didn't lock, you didn't incinerate, you didn't deplete, towards the end, you'd get 9.99% of the treasury. That's pretty good in 8 months. It's going to be about 8 months for each season. And then as you go down, as you can see, it just spreads out and fans out like that to where the 20, if you mint in round 22 of the first season, you will continue to earn in the second and third season. That's the cool thing about this is we've thought forward to not just this game, but the next game, because the whole time we were playing the first version, people were saying, well, what's next? Like, what can I do with my NFTs? What can I do with my dark matter in the next game? And, you know, we kind of thought, well, we can start the game over, but the trick is to not mint more tokens, is to give the token more and more value and more scarcity as every season goes on. So we have 3 seasons mapped out, and there's some pretty cool charts and graphs that we have coming your way to check out on that. Let me jump back here to StreamYard and see what's going on. Good evening. Cool website. Space, the final frontier. Hello, Believe in Yourself. What's up, CryptoCat? We got CryptoCat and Believe in Yourself here. Hi, CryptoCat. 666 is considered a lucky number in Japan. All right, I'll take it. Well, and 666 is also the number of Kronos, aka Saturn, the god Saturn, you know. And so this takes place in Saturn, and it's also 6 is the number of time. So everything here has a countdown and a time element to it. So 6 is a very apt number for the program, for the game. I mean, we use 11, 22, 33 everywhere we can. We also use 369 and Cuatro Cinco as a nod to the hexagons. But other than that, I mean, that's the site. Let's double check back here on Claude. Yeah, pushed. What do you think? It's tighter or good? Let's give it a look. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so now you know that the void, that is the void, that's one piece. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Now let's ask it a couple questions. So right now, you're not able to lock or incinerate your NFT until after the lottery drawing, correct? So you would have to spend 1 round minting for the next round and then wait for that next round to finish 11 days and for the lottery or jackpot to be announced before you could incinerate or lock it. That's correct. And also, when the unlock is finished, when someone's waited their 33 days or 180 days, the NFT automatically unlocks on its own and can be relocked. Is this correct with the logic of the game? All right. Yeah, these are the things that we're figuring out slowly but surely. We're like, oh, if then. And yeah, it's actually checking the logic of the contract right here. We'll see what it says. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll ask Claude, or if I know them, I'll answer them. And in the meantime, let's also throw a link out here so you guys can come on and ask any questions in person. Boom, that's right there. I'm going to post it right here. And I'm also going to post this. Actually, let's take our YouTube link, if you're on YouTube, because you guys don't get these very often. So let me copy that one and paste it in our Telegram right here. Paste that. There's our YouTube link in Telegram. And then we've got the StreamYard link. Let's go grab that and put it in here as well. I know it's sometimes it's easier to copy and paste or click on Telegram than it is in the comment section of YouTube or X. So I'll add that on there as well. Copy that one here, here, paste. And then I want to actually copy the YouTube link again, and then go to X and clean up UI Live. There we go. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll share it. We'll post it. We'll just say live tutorial and AMA, YouTube. YouTube link right there. There we go. So there's both of those right there. Post that up. And then, like I said, you guys can come and ask any questions you want while we're sitting here waiting for Claude to come back with an answer. Here we go. Here's how it actually works. Lock, incinerate, timing. Yes, partially correct. Locking has a timing gate line that the current round's lottery must be announced before you can lock. Incinerate does not have this gate. So in Treasury V2, only checks that the NFT is active and you own it. Okay, no lottery requirement. Well, we shouldn't really let people incinerate NFTs if they're not worth anything. So yeah, so you can incinerate anytime, but you can't lock until the lottery's announced. The timeline's correct. Mint round, wait for end round, announce, and then you can lock. Auto unlock. No, not automatic. The NFT does not auto unlock. The user must call unlock NFT manually after the lock period expires. The contract checks that, still locked, it reverts once time passes, but the NFT stays in the vault until a user explicitly unlocks it and doesn't transfer back on its own. So to summarize, lock requires lottery announce first. Incinerate has no timing gate. You can do it at any time. And unlock is manual, not automatic. User must click unlock after time expires. Want me to add the timing gate to incinerate too? And should the UI auto prompt users to unlock when the timer is done? Yeah, we should add the timer to the incinerate button, because if someone mints an NFT and it doesn't have any darker paid to it yet, then it won't have any weight in the void. So yeah, we shouldn't let people incinerate. Is there a way to set those to auto unlock, or would a user or something have to call that action? I do want to make it automatic just because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you guys can come unlock and relock, and that kind of like it gets a little sticky. But at the same time, you know, if you like lock and then walk away and it stays locked, your bonus stops after those 33 days or 180 days. So both good questions as we check that out. Let's see if anyone has joined us here. Yep, no one in the green room. Yeah, let's go back to Claude. There we go. Good call on the incinerate gate. No auto unlock. There's no way to make it truly automatic on chain. Someone has to call the function and pay gas. 3 options: manual, current, user clicks unlock when timer says ready. Auto prompt in UI. When user visits fuel cells farm and has expired locks, automatically fire the unlocks NFT transaction and they still confirm in wallet. Okay. Keeper bot. A backend script watches for expired locks and calls unlock on their behalf. You'd pay the gas. Option 2 is the easiest win. No extra infrastructure. User sees a pop-up when they visit the page. And for the incinerate gate, I can add the same lottery timing check. Same logic. Yeah, this prevents someone from incinerating fresh NFT with 0% weight. Want me to add the yes? Yes, please do both of those. Also, how would it work if you were to make a public button where someone, anyone in the world, could go and unlock everyone's locks for them when the time matures? All right, so we're gonna explore the option of a public button, so someone can just go in and pay the gas and unlock everyone's for them. Not that it changes anything, because they're not going to get any more bonus after that moment. They have to relock anyways. But if this is a pain in the butt and requires some huge logic shifts, then we'll know. Here we go. Great idea. Now unlock NFTs checks TI owner. Only the owner can unlock. To make it public, I'll add a few functions like unlock expired for, tokens, IDs. Anyone can call. Only works on expired locks. Sends NFTs to TI owner, not message owner. Caller pays the gas. Community service, altruism. The catch: if someone needs to know which token IDs are expired, the contract has locked tokens address per user, but no global list of all locked tokens. The front end would need to index NFT locked events to build that list. Totally doable. Let me build all three: incinerate, timing, treasury, public unlock, auto prompt unlock, front end. Okay, yeah, so we'll still have the auto prompt. So if you go in there, it'll be like, hey, unlock your stuff. But also, someone can just go in, pay the gas, and get everyone's unlocked. Now let me check what imports references Treasury V2 has for the round controller jackpot. It doesn't reference jackpot, blah, blah, blah. So it's just thinking and talking to itself right now. When it's done, it'll spit out like an actual statement. Let's see here. We do have somebody special on backstage, Mr. CryptoCat. How are you doing? You had a good weekend, I assume. Oh no, not again. Not again. The sound is what gets him. Can you hear me? Put your thumb up if you could still hear me. Okay. Yeah, we just don't hear you. I wonder what we did last time. I'm gonna mute you and unmute you. Now try talking. Um, Try clicking the arrow next to the microphone and switching to a different microphone and then back to the default. Sometimes that picks up your voice. Nope, we're still not getting any audio. So try leaving the studio and coming back in. And sometimes that does a trick and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, don't do anything. I have no speakers on right now. I don't have any way to hear you. So maybe the audience can hear you. Let me throw on some headphones so I can actually hear you, see if I can actually hear you. I forgot that I didn't have any speakers going. And then we've also got Believe in Yourself here in the. There we go. Okay, now try talking.
2, 3.
Oh, there we go. But it's echoing on there. Sorry. Okay, I just had to kill my sound on there, so I can hear you. And we'll add
2, 3.
Believe in Yourself to the stage as well. Yep, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Good
Awesome.
evening.
Good evening. Let's do a radio
Good
check with
evening.
Believe in Yourself. What's up, buddy?
Check 1, 2.
Yes,
For that.
That's affirmative, Ghost Rider.
we've got you. We got you live. Obviously, you guys have like probably 4 or 5 questions burning holes in your pockets. Let's hear some feedback and questions. And shout out to Red Ray for showing up. What's up, Bright Light? Jump in here on the stream and
Hello,
ask your questions if
bright
you
light.
can. So yeah, go
Yep.
ahead, guys. I'm all
He's here.
ears. I've got this crazy screen of infinity here. So let's go back and check Claude code. It's still frolicking and smooshing. So it's still thinking about how to build those out. What do you think about that? Do you think people should have to come back and unlock themselves? Or do you think it should just be something that's automatic? I mean, obviously, it won't relock on itself. You have to continue to relock it if you want to compound the interest from the bonus from the treasury.
I think you have to unlock it yourself.
Yeah. And that's that. Why do you? What's the psychology behind that?
Well, because you locked in the first place, so you have to unlock it.
All right, personal responsibility. I like that.
Yep.
So but you would stick with the prompt, right, where it pops up and says, "Hey, you got some stuff to unlock."
Yes.
So you don't mind the assistance, but you still appreciate responsibility.
Yes.
Okay, I like
It,
that.
yeah.
It is building the public button right now, so we'll have to tell it to stop. What do you think, rescued Robert?
Yes.
He just
What do
disappeared.
I think?
He's back.
Yes. Well, I felt like going out in the sub tonight, running quiet, but obviously now I'm talking, so that sort of defeats the purpose. But it's fun. But as far as this goes, I don't know. I guess it's a stage of evolution of your crypto mission, your crypto journey, which we're all a part of.
Well said.
Thank you. And again, besides letting the good guys win, which is one of our, mentors win, the good guys win. That's our whole point here. But we want to create the most scarce token in the universe. Every time I work with Claude and I go back to the game theory of the website and the user behavior, I ask it, are we still making this the most scarce token in the universe? And it's pretty confident that we've got a flywheel built, that once we get the flywheel going with all these parts of the game, that it should keep almost all of the tokens off the market for the most part, besides obviously LP, So let's check back in on Claude here. It's still calculating stuff. Okay, sorry about that. You've already worked so hard on this public button, but we're going to nix the public button and just stick with the prompt, the auto prompt. I think it was working on the button third, so hopefully we stopped it before we got to there. Full picture, imports, unlock timer. Okay, yeah, so I think it was working on the auto prompt when I told it that. Yeah, it says, no worries, let me revert from the contract to Nook. All right, yeah, so it's changing it back. I'm glad. See, this is why feedback is important. This is why human energy and engagement is important, because otherwise I'm just building what I think is the coolest spaceship on Earth, and then you guys show up and you're like, hey, where's the bathroom? And I'm like, that's a great question. I forgot to build a bathroom on this spaceship. So having people beta test it as you build it is really, really powerful. I appreciate that. Believe in yourself. You said 666 is considered lucky number in Japan.
True.
Awesome.
A friend of mine who's from New Zealand originally, who lives and works in Japan, his hobby is he loves cars that people will just abandon cars because the semi, I guess, a biannual, that's right, once every 2 years, inspections, the Shocken, can get so expensive that it's not worth fixing the car, but it costs them money to scrap the car. They just leave it, and no one touches them, and they just sit there and rust. So he made a channel called Wasabi Cars, and he celebrates these cars wherever they happen to be. And some of the cars have been in the same place or the same parking spot since he came to Japan. That was a long time ago. So he made a channel, and one of his first merch, one of his merch T-shirts, which I bought, had a 666 and then a Toyota Crown, a 1974 Toyota Crown wagon on the shirt. But people in the States complained because they said that's the devil's number. So he switched it to 000 later. But I had one of the originals.
Nice.
People get too uptight.
Awesome. No, okay, so it says all green 94 pass, test pass, front end clean, builds clean, commit and push. Do you want to turn your gain up on your microphone there?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Okay.
There we go.
How's that?
That's a little bit easier to hear.
Okay, that's
Nice. So it's still forming all that stuff. Let's go back here into the actual website, which is now updating. Is there anything on the front, on the homepage, that's not intuitive after me explaining the header and the 3 tiles and the void?
if somebody wasn't familiar with the game, would they know what the jackpot is?
No, I don't think they would.
I'm just thinking about someone brand new going, jackpot. Is this jackpot Yahtzee? Is this Vegas? Is it a slot machine?
Yeah,
Type
they might
thing?
wonder if it was like a separate game to this
Yes,
whole ecosystem. So
that's
you're
something I
saying
noticed.
somewhere we've got to tell people when you mint a fuel cell, you're automatically entered into the jackpot drawing.
Yes. So like fuel cell jackpot.
Okay. Well, fuel cell jackpot. Maybe we should add that to the mint page, because we do have the jackpot button right here, and so we could add some text that just says, or if you hover over it, we could have a box pop up that says every NFT you mint gets you a lottery ticket for the jackpot.
Yeah, because next to it says fuel cell farm, so you know your fuel cell is your farm. So
So yeah, so the fuel cell farm's more intuitive, but jackpot could be
yeah,
anything. What's next? The contract changes aren't viewable in the browser. They require a redeploy to test. The auto prompt toast only triggers blah blah blah. Okay, so we do have to do another redeploy to test those unlock button and the unlock auto prompt. But that's okay. So let's add that idea. I like that idea right there. On the minting page, right above the jackpot tile, we need some text that actually, let me start again. I hate typing, so this is the best part of Claude right here. It's just telling it what to do. On the minting page and on the home page, if you hover the mouse over the jackpot tile, we need a pop-up explanation that tells the user the text should read, every time you mint a fuel cell, you let me go here. No, this is what the text should say. The text should say, every NFT minted automatically enters you into the jackpot drawing. Let's see if it understood all of that. Let's see what it says there. In the meantime, good catch, CryptoCat. I like that, because you don't want the whole screen covered in text. However, anything that's
right.
interactive, like a hover or a bubble or a pop or something like that, Anything you can put into an icon is great because the less what was it called? Um, executive load that you put on the brain when it looks at something, the more likely someone is to take action. So basically, the easier this is to use, the more intuitive it is, the more likely people will
Uh-huh.
come here and hit buttons. All right, got it. I'll add a hover over tooltip to the jackpot tile on both pages. Let me check the existing tooltip pattern and use it consistently. Boom. All right. Anything else? Looks like we're actually minting for Journey 2 right now. Let me mint another 100 fuel cells for Journey 2. I'm going to try to get like 100 on each of these if I can. Although I'll be asleep during rounds 4 through 10 most likely. Unless I get up to pee. In which case, I'll come down here and I'll mint some. And I'll also check
Right.
on Claude to make sure that Claude is still working away while I sleep.
Still functioning.
All right, so going back to anything on the gel. So my idea for the jackpots, like I said, every time somebody sacrifices to the void, if they sacrifice their lottery winning, their jackpot, that jackpot is attached to another jackpot in the next round. So like I said, it can go all the way up to 1,332 before it caps it, because if someone were to win the lottery and incinerate it every single time, all 22 times over the 3 seasons. So if someone incinerated every 11 days for 2 years, I think it came up to some crazy amount like 10,960 would be a jackpot, which that's a lot of fun. But I think it could ruin the goal of making this the most scarce token in the world in one day. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did cap it, I believe, at 1332. In fact, I should probably ask. No, Claude's busy. I'm not gonna interrupt Claude. So you have a 1 in 740 chance of winning. You get 333 dark per winner. I've got 100 entries right now because I minted them in Journey 1. So when this clock counts down, I may win one of these. And then the bonus jackpot. So this will show you how many stacked jackpots there are. And then what I'd like to do is kind of have them hover around the jackpot like bees around a hive. So when you go to this page, you'll see like a 666 and a 999, just like, and maybe a number attached to them. Because I mean, it would be cool to have like 100 of them just circling this thing, but it might take away from the readability and usability of the page. So maybe
Like the
like
Pink Miss Well.
three of them. Yeah, like Pink Miss Whale.
Yeah.
By the way, I did ask Claude to go back and study the Pink Miss Well game from the original. Right, here we go. Look at this. We got 61 people waiting to play the game. Holy
Yeah.
cow. You guys are freaking bananas. Woo! In fact, I don't
So
know.
we
It'd be interesting to
39.
find out if this actually works, because I did cancel like 7 services today that are attached to the old website. Well, it's not the old website. It's the current website, but I'm saying to version
Right.
1, right? And so I don't know how many of those services and connections or plugins were used on this. I just want to hear oh my gosh, massive kill.
Right.
I think they should. I think we should change all of the sound effects to old NES games. Like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and
Totally.
because because just the bombs and the guns going off, they're fun, but they're just not as cool as old Sega NES game voiceovers, right?
That is true. They don't make games like Sega or NES anymore.
They don't. I mean, they've come up with a lot of modulators, so you
I
can
remember my
kind of
favorite game on PlayStation was Twisted Metal,
Oh, I love
Twisted
that game.
Metal.
where you had the insane clown
Mhm.
throwing
Yeah.
ice cream cones of death. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game. And I wish I had known then that the PS1, certain versions had like the best audio CD player ever, because I could
Uh-huh.
have grabbed one of those really cheap and just held on to it.
Oh my goodness, I got an ant that just crawled on my screen.
That's kind of cool. It looks like a monster, like in Godzilla. If it were climbing over the camera, I mean, you
And
need
on
it
the
climbing over the
PC,
camera.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Get
like
the
that's a
ants on
really
the
big
camera so
ant.
we can think that you're being attacked by aliens.
Yeah.
I jump back here to see if Bright Light had permission to come play with us, but he's probably working. The guy works a lot. So,
Yeah, he's got some cool tokens too.
the Yup token. Yeah, I was just looking at my pile of Yup tokens that I got in one of my wallets, and I thought, oh, this would be cool to pair with Darker once it goes live.
He has another token called Proof.
He does. And what's the
Yes.
proof about?
It's kind of like Prove X, but it's Proof, and it's on Deck Screener. I believe it was a Pump Tires token,
Oh, cool.
so and it graduated.
Talking about tokens, we got the Dark token pumping up and
Look at that.
trying to smack 50 cents right now.
There's
That's
resistance.
quite a nice resist. But if you look at this, it's got it's been doing really well compared to the actually no, it's right in lockstep with Hex. Hex is up 8% today. Dr. Doge is
Yep.
up 13% today. So that's cool.
Yep,
Pulse
on
X
news
is
of
up
possibly a
8%.
ceasefire, I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a 2-week
Dragon.
ceasefire.
Amid's
We'll see
up
how long it
8%.
lasts.
Provex is up 22%.
Yeah.
And nuts, squirrels nuts right here. It's up 13% against nuts, but if you price it in nuts, it's really taken a beating right here. So nuts has gone insane. Nuts has gone nuts, I guess you could say. Here's
The
nuts.
Provex is
right
up
here
22%.
against Pulse. Yeah. Yeah. Now the one sad thing about moving from dark to darker is that we do have locked liquidity with Dr. Doge because they do forever locked liquidity, right? And
Right.
so there will be, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do from a code point of view to unlock that LP and pull that LP and move it. But I am pretty sure that as Darker gets going, Darker will be paired with the homies over at Dr. Doge. We were going to increase our pair over time with Dr. Doge in
Right.
that locked contract. And now, because we're switching, I should probably reach out to those guys and be like, hey, what's going on? I have reached out to Pink Miss Well, who holds the majority of the liquidity paired between Dark and Pink Miss Well. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens going forward if the Pink Miss Well or any other Hex Wells feel like coming forward and supplying some liquidity between Darker and Hex. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some liquidity between Darker and Edai because that's where it's the smart contract is actually going to make its swap as it pays out the EDI. So yeah.
Very cool. I got about 5 more minutes and then I gotta head out.
Yeah, I'm about wrapped up too. I was just excited to have a couple of human beings on asking questions.
Yeah, I've been
And
Yeah,
playing
sort
around
of.
with it. The new
yeah,
website. It's pretty cool.
blowing smoke rings, a skill acquired when I was 10. Nice. Oh, nice. Those look like onion rings.
Yeah, they're nice and fat.
Nice.
Guess
Ooh,
that's.
like Funyuns. My favorite.
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
these ones are
Well,
kind of. What do they taste like? A little bit like shortcake, a little sweeter.
okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called Dragon's Blood. This mix, but doesn't
That sounds
taste
like a
like
nice
Dragon's
name.
Blood. Yeah.
It'd be a
Well,
new
we've had,
jelly bean flavor for me, Dragon's Blood.
Mm.
let's do a lock here on those 100 ones that we had from round one. The nice thing about this is I've got 100 fuel cells. There will be people who have thousands of fuel cells, and you're not going to want to individually approve every one of them. And so what we did was we came up with, oh, you have to click I understand the lock terms. And I can actually lock a percentage up. So I can put 10, 20, 40, or 100% of my fuel cells locked up for 180 days, or 33 days. I'm going to lock all of them up. I'm going to lock all of the ones that I just minted for 180 days, which in this simulator is, I believe, 16. Yeah, like 16. So on round 16 of the simulator, I will have an option to unlock those and see what that 100x bonus gave me. So long lock
Wow.
selected, and I'm going to hit sign. This is what I see happening, especially in beta. I know beta is going up and down, and it keeps getting redeployed because we keep changing some of the logic in the contracts. However, I think that a lot of people are going to try um, to throw a lot of mud at the wall, especially on beta, because at beta you have nothing to lose but gas, right? And gas right now is
Right.
cheap, so for a few bucks you can do a lot of crazy stuff online. Um, and so I think we're going to see a lot of people trying to mint as many as they can, and then trying different um, recipes or
Game mechanics.
strategies. Yeah, like they might say, okay, well, I'm going to start out and I'm going to just lock everything for 180 days, the first 3 journeys, for instance, right? Or they might say, I'm going to do a mix. I'm going to do 20% for 33 days, 20% for 180 days, and then I'm going to incinerate 20% and start seeing how much EDI I get paid, right? And so there's just a lot of moving pieces on the board. And talking to you guys is really helping me to work with the UI and see exactly. So if I refresh this and then I hover back over my journey ones, if it's caught up. Oh wait, no, I want my 180-day lock. If I hover this over, it should put the 100. Oh yeah, it should put the 100 NFTs under the mantle clock right there. I forget what those are called, but we're going to get to this. We're going to get to these icons to make them simpler. We're also going to add some more stuff that you guys are wondering. Emergency unlock, that kind of thing, and incinerate. And it'll be exciting if I win one of those lotteries. That would be really, really cool.
Super
Um,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So get on here, please. Now that you cannot mint for Journey 12, you
Yeah.
can mint for round
Play
2.
around.
You can get in here and play around. I know that it doesn't have the same dopamine hit as something that's attached to real money. I mean, technically these are attached to real money. They're worth 29 cents a piece right now, these test tokens. But if we go back here and we look at the darker, oh, where is it? I thought I added it. Let's actually pull it up here and add it. The darker and EDI pair that I created just for the live simulation. So it's actually trading back and forth with EDI, and there's a couple of bots here and there, but it's the liquidity is so crazy low. Let's see here. I got to go back to darker and then just copy this address, then go into Dex Screener or Gecko Terminal and paste it. And you can see there's the dark and EDI pair right here. It's got $10.86 of liquidity. It launched it at $1, right around $1, which is kind of crazy because I didn't tell Claude to do that. And that's where, you know, dark matter launch was around right around $1. And now it's all the way down to 34. So the good news is that the beta test site knows we're in a bear market and is behaving accordingly. So I mean, yeah, technically, you could go take you could go to the faucet here, and the funny thing is the faucet says 2000, but it might be drained. Like I might have drained it, and Claude might have drained it. I gave Claude its own wallet and its own like $10 of Pulse, and I told it to try all these other crazy things inside the game without waiting for me. And so it's got its own. Some of these here that we're competing against are from Claude. But I think that Claude and I both wiped it out. We might have to run the mint function again or redeploy it. Waiting for confirmation. If it says reverted, then that means it's empty, most likely. And then we'll see if Claude's got any more questions for us before we hang up, right? Let's see here. Tooltip's working. You can see the gold every NFT. Oh, it says that that's working. So if we go here to the home screen, I don't know if it's pushed to production or if we just got to go to the local host. Oh, you're killing me, local host. Wake up. Wake up, local host. Check the deployments. Let's open this one right here. This is the last one that it did. So let's open this one right here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so on the main page, it opens behind the void information. Do you see that? So we need to tell Claude that it's hidden behind the void data. And then let's check the Mint fuel cells page and see where it pops up here. It's not popping up on the Mint fuel cells page yet, but it might still be. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, it says the tooltip confirmed working on the home page. It's slightly clipped by the stars stats bar. It's actually completely clipped by the stats bar. Let's have it pop up above the tiles on the home page, and it's not working on the Mint page. So we need that pop up to work on the Mint page as well, please. There we go. So it's like I said, it's a work in progress. For some reason, this box has shrunk again so that it's not holding all these. I don't know why, but sometimes you have to just keep going back and nudging it and saying, nope, center, nope, bigger, nope, smaller. But eventually we get it locked down. And with people like CryptoCat here and Believe in Yourself, and hopefully some other people in the community like Brightlight and Crispy Man and Sloth, we'll have some people picking at this thing and helping us polish it up really good for launch. Yeah, there's nothing anybody has to do before launch right now other than the liquidity providers. They could pull their liquidity at any time, and we could take a snapshot. So you might want to take advantage of the liquidity that we have right now, all $2,000 of it. There we go. I just added it to our watch list. Yeah, like I said, there's Dark and Hex is the most practical liquidity. We have 4K of liquidity between Dark and Hex. That's not bad at all. And then you've got 12K of liquidity paired with Pink Mist Well, which at first is like, well, who cares about Pink Mist Well? But Pink Mist Well still has and always will have. Nope, that's not it. It because it came out of Pump Dot tires. It has that locked liquidity with Pulse Forever. So it has almost 6K of liquidity locked with Pulse. So between the Hex and the Pulse, you've got about 10K of liquidity right now, which is in this market is pretty damn good. 10K in this market is like 100K in a normal market. So you might want to get in here if you guys think that if you guys want to get the dark before the snapshot and before the liquidity is pulled for the transition. I don't think I would wait very long if I were you guys. Not financial advice or telling you that it's a good or bad time to buy anything. The last 5 years has taught us that it's been a bad time to buy everything. So take that with a grain of salt. If you do want to get snatch up some dark before it becomes darker, then I would give that a shot. Let's check in with Claude one more time. It's worrying and philosophizing and baking. There we go, baking and cooking. I like it when it says it's doing the hard yucca, the hard yakka. I don't even know what the hell that means, but good. We wish CryptoCat sweet dreams. He is very prompt at his bedtimes. I'm prompt at my bedtimes. I'm gonna go take some magnesium, lie down, throw on my eye mask and my CPAP machine so that I look like Darth Vader in a seance. And I'm so good to see you, man. I mean, it's been a while since we've been on stream together, but it's always good to see your face. Believe in yourself. And thank you so much for the retweeting and the liking and promoting of Dark Matter. It means the world to me. So thanks. And then we got Hex T Armstrong showing up in the comments right at the end. All right. I think you're muted, believe in yourself. I can't quite hear you there.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I have a ways to go to catch up to him.
StreamYard link is not working. Well, it's over. It's over, man. You're gonna have to hop on the train sooner to ask your questions. But I should be on with Randy Hilarski's group Thursday night. No permissions if you're part of that Patreon group. I'm gonna go on there and kind of share what's going on with the evolution of dark. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep doing the vibe coding where I throw on. Can you just update real quick? No, you got to replay. And guess what? It's actually on YouTube this time, so you can throw it on a 2x. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing music and just streaming and vibe coding on X as I sit there and tweak the UI and add things and remove things and ask Claude questions. Again, yeah, here we go. Still running on 302. We're good. What's next? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it really is running. Yep. Nope. There we go. So it's running here. Oh, look at that. Every NFT minted automatically enters you into the in the jackpot drawing. So that's cool. That one works there. Let's go to the home page. There we go. Yep. And every NFT minted automatically enters you in the jackpot drawing. Perfect. Love it. Love it. I wonder real quick if it's updated my stats on the lock that I put in. I locked those 100 round one NFTs into the 180-day lock pool for 100x bonus in the treasury. And looks like it's still trying to pull it up. Let's see here. Let's tell Claude. Yeah, I don't think that the hover over option is working on my fuel cells. I locked up 100 of my fuel cells for 180 days in round one, and as far as I can tell, it hasn't transferred to the pop-up tile in those menus. All right. Oh my. What about this one? This is just the latest one right there. Let's go back here. Let's refresh my fuel cells. Lock void, lock. 180 day. Oh, nope, it's still zeros across the bottom. So that's something that it can work on there. Yeah, it says, I see the round tile pop up. It's blah, 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 blah. Let me check. So now it's checking to see why that's not working. And we'll just keep checking on it and nudging it throughout the night and giving it some porridge. You know, keep it going like a good little slave. And other than that, you guys, oh, we got vertical stream here. Let me add him for 1 second. You got one question, Hexy Armstrong. Go. Ten, 9.
Stop. I got a brand new computer. I'm trying to figure it out. Bought me a race car today. So just chill.
Did you buy that so you could mine Dr. Doge and save the world?
Oh no, I'm gonna actually keep that on my other machine. But this is my how should I say? This is my attempt to learn AI agent vibe coding and use the GitHub workflow UI.
Awesome.
So I'm on a mission.
Jonathan Kampala, my brother from another mother. Thanks, Max. Good night, fam. Good night. It's always good to have him here. He's always here. He's always listening.
My question is, how soon is the snapshot going to be taken? Do you have a rough idea?
4 more weeks.
What's that?
4 more weeks.
4 weeks.
4
Okay.
more weeks.
Got it. All right. You can go ahead and turn the stream off now.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Night.
Bye.
All right. Bye, Max.
See ya.